You are now experiencing the No Invite Podcast. No Invite Podcast.
Just get the fuck out of here. Yo, it's the motherfucking No Invite Podcast. This is Blaze Bang. We and we in here, and I'm getting gurped on because my hair long as shit.
Lou Studios.
As you already know, it's me. I'm Blaze. It's No Invite Podcast, episode 31. We going strong all night long. Ask your bitch. I mean, just ask her. I don't know why. She might tell you. She might not. We got Patty back. Welcome back, Patty. How are you, Patty? Go ahead.
Nothing. I was waiting for you.
Patty over here pump faking and shit like she's gonna say something and she don't say shit. Patty in this thing, you know what I'm saying? Patty is a permanent fixture in the No Invite Podcast for anybody that don't know. So for y'all, you know, whether we don't do shit in a while or we do it every day, just know that Patty's going some way, shape, or form be in this thing. I don't know. Patty's over here directing fucking traffic and waving her hands all crazy right now. I know it's the pandemic and shit. You know what I'm saying? I hope that she's kept all her marbles. But then again, Patty's like she's a real for real fucking hermit, bro. Like a recluse. So this shit ain't nothing to her. That I remember I was telling you the other day when my son's like, I'm getting tired of this lockdown. I want to go hang out with my friends. And I'm like, I looked at him dead in his face. I don't give a fuck about this shit. And I was like, this ain't nothing. This ain't real lockdown. And I guess I must have went off.
You don't know nothing about really being locked down in quarantine.
That's when that glare in my eye came out, and I started getting on my I had a prison flashback and shit. Like, you don't know what lockdown is.
Had a brief moment of some PTSD.
Yeah, just a little bit. You see how the 1,000-yard stare just come in. And that's why I said I turned around. It's hella funny because
zoned out and went to another place.
I dead ass looked at him like the Terminator though, because I'm over there at the sink.
So
I'm at the sink I'm washing my hands at the sink, and he at the kitchen. And you know how you seen the kitchen how it looked like, right? He down the way by the refrigerator, and he's like, I'm getting tired of this lockdown. I dead ass stopped and did the Terminator on this nigga like, I don't give a fuck about this shit. Like I felt like I had a Juice moment like Pac when I don't give a fuck about Raheem. I don't give a fuck about Keyless. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Like, but you know, like, cause it's like these kids, I think they all have a breaking point, to be honest with you. Like how we all say, oh, these kids, all they do is sit in the house. All they do is this, that. I think even then they get fed up with that shit. Yes. Like even the most recluse, and I'm pretty sure you could vouch for this. At some time it's like, yo, I gotta get the fuck up out of here and go do something.
No,
baby.
I
Cheers.
Cheers, baby.
Cheers, baby. Sita. Cheers, Patty.
Cheers,
Patty's smoking weed. She's not gonna take a shot yet. She babysitting right now. I don't know what they paying you an hour, but it must not be enough.
It's not enough.
But yeah, we don't give these kids too much enough credit. They're smart, but they're smart in other ways. You know, I feel like they're not smart. Maybe the street smarts have gone down a little bit. And I'm not saying all kids, like I'm not making a broad generalization, but the majority, like I'm gonna say because I noticed that people that grew up like us in the street life and shit like that, our kids are super good. I feel like it's because it's almost to a fault.
Good, you mean in the sense like they're
good,
not,
like they're not like how we were.
Yes, like I don't think kids are necessarily bad. I just think that they're misunderstood because they've went through things. You know what I mean? But to other people, it would look like the kids. Oh, those are just some bad kids. Like I get it. Yeah, kids aren't bad like that. Like
no, there's badass kids. No. Look, so the way I look at it is like you could be a bad kid. That doesn't mean that you're not redeemable or you're not like, you know what I'm saying? Like just because you're bad doesn't mean you're a horrible person. You know what I'm saying? Some kids, like they've been through a lot and you know, acting out like they tell you is a form of getting attention. You know what I'm saying? They want to know that they matter, that you know, if they can't get it like the conventional way, then they're gonna get it however they can. You know what I'm saying? And to keep it real with you, if I look back to all the times when I was young and fucking up, that's what it was. It was like an attention grab, but it wasn't an attention grab like I want my mom or something like that. It was like
You act
notice
out.
me.
You act
like
out.
notice me. Like I'm somebody too. Like you know what I mean. Whenever depending on how you grew up and your circumstances and stuff, though, everybody wants to feel validated. Everyone wants to feel like they matter. You know what I'm saying? And when you're young, and you got a mom that works all the time, you hardly see her. You don't got a pops. And it's all like that. We all have different circumstances, but it's what it is. It's like no matter what, you want attention, but you want the people that you really want attention from, you necessarily probably can't get, so you lash out in other ways. You feel me?
You act out. I totally agree. I think that's one of the main things that we need as humans. I think we have, 4 basic necessities in general. Food, shelter.
You need you to speak up.
Food, water, shelter, and love. Like, that's what we need as humans. Like, we need that understanding, we need that affection, we need that relation.
Yeah, and if you're a teenage boy, you need privacy. Because you in there, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
You in there strangling
Females
shit.
just as well.
Yeah, you know what? I can't picture that though. I feel like
Yeah,
when it comes to boys and girls, when it comes to like that teenage thing, I think like boys are more nastier.
We're all humans, and we're
No,
honestly,
I'm not saying.
to be honest.
And I'm not saying that to like I said, I don't make broad generalizations, but I'm just saying
I think every person just kind of deserves a certain level of privacy. Regardless.
I mean, yeah, but I'm talking about the privacy. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you mean, boy.
Because it's like I look at him and I look at my kid. I'm like, bro. Because
even as an adult, as a woman, I definitely want my privacy, and as a child or more
Everybody
of an adolescent,
does.
I wanted my privacy, and boys and males need their privacy just as well. Like, so.
Yeah, fuck. But I'm just saying though. It's like it's just for me. It's to me it's tough. You know what I mean? Because I tell my son all the time especially when we have talks and shit. I'm fucking up. I'm like, look, bro. Just so you know, my son, I love you, but this shit is not. There ain't no handbook for this. Mm-mm. Even the most, best bred, fucking came from the perfect background, mom and pops in the family, no real severe trauma or nothing like that. They still don't know what the fuck they're doing sometimes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I was like, when I tell you that I'm trying my best and I'm trying to do everything I can, trust me, I am. And I always feel like I could do better. I'm stupid hard on myself. Mm-hmm. But that's because I heard somebody say, like, you don't have to know how to be a parent, just be what you didn't have. If, like, for those that didn't have a parent or a male or female role model in their house and shit, you know what I mean? So
I heard this one, saying as well, it was like, the parents that are worried about if they're doing it right are usually the best ones.
I like that. I like that. Because you know what, though? I rather worry if I'm doing it right than not care at all. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. Just be like, meh. With your offspring, with your
I don't know how people do that shit. Some people just don't got no maternal instinct whatsoever. Even me, like,
I don't blame people
have
not for having maternal or paternal instincts, but I will hold you accountable for your actions.
Yeah,
you know
for
what
sure.
I mean? Like, even though.
And what I mean probably by that, to just like I said, I just said it all. Like, what I mean like that is like, it's like, I don't know too many, like, I wasn't raised like that. So for me to see someone that, because I was very family orientated, you know, mm-hmm. and even if it wasn't with my family, it was with like my street family, my friends, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like that too. Cause like, to be honest with you, there's only maybe like a couple of friends that I fought, but we fought and then became friends. If you were like my friend before that, I was like, the last thing I ever want to do is throw hands with you. You feel me? It's like, we could figure it out. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But I think that's natural and normal, and sometimes that brings you closer, and it's real.
No, yeah, I mean it's not, but I'm just saying for me, like for me, that like I look at it is because it's like I feel that it hurts more when it's from somebody that you know.
I can see that as well.
When you fight somebody that you don't give a fuck about or whatever on the street, just like whatever.
Totally different.
It's like totally whatever.
Different.
But it's like when you fight a family member or a friend. And it's over some dumb shit, because it usually always is when it comes to that. It's like, I think we since you know them personally, it's way personal. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm trying my best to just to be not to be so much of a fucking of a nag. Because I hate that.
To your son, to my kid, or to everybody?
Yeah. Not to everybody. I'm not a nag. I'm a motivator. Let's get this shit straight. There's a difference, you know what I'm saying? Because if I tell you something, it's just because I'm trying to help you. And sometimes, you know what I mean, if I'm doing too much shit, I'm open for you to tell me that. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, leave me alone. Like, okay, I'm doing too much. Because I'm intense. I think about it a lot too. It's like me. It's like there's only 2 modes with me. It's like turn down or turn all the way the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like that middle ground shit is hard for me to do. Yeah, it's hard for me to do, and only because I don't know. Like I was looking at a meme that I had for a while. I had it for a minute, and it was showing it said your sign as a criminal. Did I read that to you before?
No.
Well, I got it. Mine's is crazy because I think we talked about it before. I'm pretty sure we did. But mine's is crazy for mine. I'm going to do sign checks right now. I'm going to need everybody to break themselves and let me know what kind of criminal activity your ass is really into. You know what I mean?
What's your name? What's your sign?
Yeah. I need all that. Let me show me, you know what I'm saying? Just to make sure. Let me find that shit. Excuse me. You know what I mean? This is the podcast. We should be ready, but I don't give a fuck. Because no one tells us what to do. I created myself. No one tells me what to do or any of that shit.
No one makes me bleed my own blood.
No one makes me bleed my own blood. I don't give a fuck. Y'all, when I start getting paid, then maybe y'all could tell me a little something about this shit. If you paying the bills, motherfucker. So all y'all out there, I appreciate y'all listening. We trying to build together. We all trying to get there. You know what I'm saying? Wherever it takes, Patty. Whatever it takes. I don't know where the fuck it's at. So you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna keep it fucking pushing.
We're just sitting here waiting for Diz.
I know, just waiting for me. Okay, so here it goes.
Just waiting for Diz.
What's your sign?
Sagittarius.
Patty's a Sagittarius.
Are you?
That's hella funny. Okay, so look.
25th.
So look, I'm gonna tell y'all mine.
Do you fall on Thanksgiving every now and then? Your birthday fall on Thanksgiving every now and then?
She's November, you're December, baby.
You're November.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's
what? It's like Christmas, baby.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
December 21st.
Gotcha.
Y'all
So we're both like at the
Martin,
beginning
same
and end of
thing.
the
Why the fuck
spectrum.
do I always get surrounded by Sagittarius? We must get along
You
good or something.
attract. That's what we attract in
because look, because
life,
Martine's a
like-
Sag too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you mine. Mine's.
The dopest sign out.
We
You know what? I
crazy,
can't
too.
complain. I'm not mad at y'all at all,
you
for
like
real.
seven
You ain't gonna
different
get no
people?
hating vibes from me. But mine says Virgo says cult leader. And tell me that don't fit, right? And I'm gonna tell you why all y'all's
That's
fit.
eerily apt.
Okay.
That's so weird.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Guess what
listen
y'all
to
is?
what we are.
Sagittarius. Your sign as a criminal is a murderer.
Ted Bundy. I think the Zodiac killer. I'm not too sure.
Like I said, I'm gonna tell y'all why that fits y'all. Cause y'all be way too fucking calm on some shit that you shouldn't be calm at, and then y'all way too turned up on some shit you probably shouldn't be turned up at. That's how I know.
Don't judge us.
I'm not judging. This is not a
guys are
judgment at
not
all.
innocent
What do you
as
mean?
well.
They say judge a person by the people he keeps around. Well, I got his fucking Sagittarius, so if I'm judging y'all, I'm judging myself right now. If anything, we the
Exactly.
squad right now. This is what it is.
Exactly.
So we gotta hold each other down a bit. But look, some of the other ones is Aries was a pickpocket. So I think somebody told me
So
about
come
that.
on, someone who's smooth and can finesse. I see that because I know Aries who are super finesse.
Taurus, obviously, it's a drug dealer.
Oh, they going hard. They going hard.
A hard head motherfucker. Yeah,
They
I mean, I
going
can see that too.
ham.
It says Gemini. It says burglar.
2 different lives.
Yeah,
That
and
kinda
one,
makes sense.
that's one of his many.
That makes sense.
There are many fucking lives. Cancer. It says fraud.
Oh, so scammers.
Scammer.
Scammers.
That's for sure. I could say that. Leo's a hacker. I don't know. I can't call
I don't
it
know
on
too many
that.
Leos.
I don't know too much
That's,
about Leos too.
I can't.
This
There's
probably
nothing I
makes
can
sense.
reference
Libra
to.
is a stalker.
Yeah, I can see that.
All you fucking stalkers out there.
I can see that.
Fuck's wrong with y'all? Libra. Scorpio is a con artist.
Okay.
That
Another
makes
scammer.
sense. Yeah, another scammer.
They finessing, they pimping.
I don't know what it is about y'all Sagittarius and y'all
They
Capricorns,
charming.
but Capricorn is an assassin.
Crazy too. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. What about Aquarius?
Money laundering. Money launderer.
That makes a lot of sense. Oh my
Who
goodness.
the fuck you know is an Aquarius?
I don't want to say it.
Yeah. Now that you said the crime,
name
now,
dropping
yeah,
right
now.
yeah. Now that we
We are
said the
not.
crime, we're gonna leave it
We're
at that. You know what I'm
definitely
saying?
not mentioning.
sure.
No, I'm
Not
just
name
playing. I'm
dropping.
just playing.
Said, and then it goes. Pisces is a violent protest leader.
Oh no,
Who the
I
fuck
can
knows?
see that. I can see that. I can. I know a Pisces.
You know what I was thinking about the other day? It's like, you know how everything's
No
generational, right? You know, like, you know how when we look back at our shows that we used to watch on TV and all that shit and the music we used to listen to, it's like since we're in the new millennium now, right? It's like, you know, memes is a big thing. So it's like when we get like 20 years down the line and these 10 to 15, 20 year olds, you know what I'm saying, are like 40, are they gonna look back at the memes that we used to do, like all the classic memes, and be like, that shit was like ancient art and shit, or like, or it's like gonna be like, this is like, you know how when you think of the first of something and it's the greatest thing ever, or it's like the best of, you know, because it was like the original and shit like that. Are they gonna look at all those dorky ass memes and them weird ass cat memes and all that shit, all them fucking the Jordan crying meme and all that? Are they gonna be like, this was the golden era of memes, bro? This is when it all happened and it went down. When I was a kid, we didn't fucking this new shit you guys are on.
It is the information.
We had the Jordan
age.
crying meme.
I mean, history always repeats itself, but it's just
that's true.
The details are just different, right? Like, so it is the information age.
Yeah.
Considered the information age. So memes are kind of like, in a sense, like hieroglyphics and like
they're markers
depictions
in time
because they're a way that humans communicate and express. You know
think
what
about
I mean?
It, like,
and so it's kind of just that, but instead of in stone,
yeah, it's digital.
It's digital.
Yeah, and think about it.
And we evolve the way
point.
that our cultures are.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
think about it. It's like a
depends.
turning point in history, right? Just like when they did the cave writings and they did all the hieroglyphs and all that shit, they were at the peak of their civilizations.
They were able to use tools and make tools.
Yeah,
and,
so it's definitely, I look at it like that. But I was thinking that, and you said it too. I was thinking about that too. It's like when history changes, it's like all this shit comes back and forth. I guarantee you, maybe like 15, 20 years from now, they'll be on baggy clothes again. Baggy clothes will be like, you gotta wear your shit super big. Like, it's, I guarantee you. You know why?
You know what I think? I think of always the Fifth Element. I think the Fifth Element's gonna be on point. Like you look back at some of the old school movies and you're like, bro, they were on point with like so many concepts.
I just said that in the last fucking podcast. I watched Demolition Man. And this shit, they had the autonomous cars. They look like Teslas. They had FaceTime where you would talk and you could see them and shit.
I mean,
all that shit.
That was how long ago?
Yeah, and it's crazy how all that shit's coming right now, though. But it's true. But
so like Chris Rock's leotard, like I think like people are gonna dress like that, or maybe fashion will become kind of obsolete and everybody wears the same thing because nobody cares. I can also see that happening as well. Like everybody just has like a uniform like
I don't know. I think as people, we're just too unique for that.
I don't know, but like Fifth Element really like because like the eyebrows and also what was Hunger Games, the fashion in that I think it's so creative. The fashion is so creative and on point. I'm like that was
well, think of it like this. Think of it like this. Back like you go back to the old movies and shit when they did space, and like even the most basic ones before they had all the special
Space
effects
Odyssey.
and stuff. They had already. They already had
that?
like even the old Star Trek movies and shit. They already had the fits, the super skinny like stuck to your shit, and it's all the shit that we're wearing now.
And
Back in the days, they had
the
it's that, and I think it's like I was telling you, it's like when you think of something and you put it out in the universe, it exists now, no matter what.
Yeah, you manifest it.
And then the more steam it gets, then it actually becomes like something physical. Like
the more people know about it, the more people get behind it, the more energy is around it.
The more you're tuned into them
spreads.
frequencies,
It's just like a domino effect. Like it's just like marketing when you're trying to get, your audience.
Something like that. Patty didn't know what to say, so she just started saying anything to just like try to put a button on the end of that.
Okay. Okay, Dave.
So look, we ain't did a podcast in a while, and how have you been holding it down during this quarantine? And what do you feel about all this shit? Like, I haven't got your perspective yet. I'm sure everybody listening is tired of hearing me fucking say shit about it, but like it's like how has your quarantine been to you?
I'm sorry. I'm good. I'm good.
Soldier boy quarantine is what she said.
I'm good. But I always try to be good. I think it's just a process. So, like you said, I'm kind of like a natural recluse. So, I seen this thing on the internet. It was like, for some of y'all, this quarantine life is new, but for others, we've been doing it.
Yeah.
We stay to ourselves. We are selective about the people we're around, and we distance ourselves from toxic people. So I've been doing that, so really nothing's changed.
Shit,
too
fucking
much.
Patty living in the
Like,
fifth dimension already,
oh
way
my
before you
goodness.
average human beings, with the extra Visine on her third eye and the fucking, you know what I'm saying, her frequency dialed up to 1700 megahertz, you know, in tune with the oceans, and when you hear a fucking sea lion squawk in the wilderness, just know that Patty hears it first before anyone else.
Yeah.
And the butterfly effect and the ripple in time and who gives a rat fuck about that? No, I'm talking.
What is
Nah, it's
wrong with
because you know what? We be talking about shit like that, right? And people really think like we sound crazy to them, but it's like you gotta.
It's okay.
Thank you.
No, it is okay because
I know I'm a weirdo.
I know I'm weird too, and I believe in weird shit. Like even like with the whole fucking situation that's going on right now, it's like you don't really want to know what I think is going on. Because what I think, if I tell you what I really think is going on, I'm gonna sound crazy as fuck. So it's like, you know what? I just keep it to myself, and just because I think I I'm really like I think too much about everything. So if I start thinking about that and go down that rabbit hole, then who the fuck knows what I mean? Shit, you know what I'm saying?
I have no idea what's going on.
Right?
I know nothing.
I don't know. I feel like we know too much, but yet, like you said, we don't know anything at all. Like, it's like some shit don't need to be known. It's
I'll
too
be
much.
the first to admit, like, I'm not sure what is going on right now.
Nah, hell nah. Nobody knows really. I don't give a fuck. The only people that know are the
I don't know
people
what's
that
real.
know, man. Fuck yeah. That's it. The only people that know are the people that know. And it's weird. We living in weird ass times right now. You know,
But I think that's just life. I think that's what it is.
Did
like,
you see
there
that?
is no stability. There's no control. There is no, we're constantly evolving. And
yeah, we're hurtling through space.
why do you?
I always say that shit, huh? Hey, no, but you seen that when this first shit started, they were circulating this book by Sylvia Brown, you know, the psychic that tells the
I
future,
remember
tells
her.
people's
In the
past
90s,
lives and
right?
shit. Yeah,
She was in
she used
the
to be
90s,
on Montel Williams.
Yes.
That's how you know we old. But so she wrote about this whole pandemic way before it happened, and she made a prediction about it. She said around
Oh,
this
that's
time.
who that book was.
Yeah, she said around this
Okay.
time. No, a couple people wrote about it and were pretty accurate about it.
Yeah, I've seen
She
that
said around
a
this
few
time there'd be a
times.
pandemic that's really vicious and it attacks your
Immune system.
immune system and your respiratory system, and it's a mystery illness and no one really knows how it manifested or where it came from, and then it will appear and then disappear like it was
Yes,
nothing and
I've
never to
seen
be
that.
seen again. But she said in 10 years later it'll be back and it'll kill a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the quote I seen and read on it.
Yeah.
So I think about it, it's like, do you really think people could predict that future? And when they predict that, do you think that it's just one possible future, like it could change, or it's like no matter what, this is what's gonna happen?
I do think people have. I think that we have more senses than we can fathom. I think that there's more than just what we can see. That's a reality of things. I mean, you can't see the wind, but it's real.
Yeah.
So I don't put it past anybody that might have certain inclinations, intuitively wise, that helps them, kind of foresee a future, if you want to say it, something like that. You know what I mean? I kind of think it's like the Men in Black 3 movie.
Yeah, we were just watching that, huh? We were just
and the
watching
fifth
that.
dimensional being, where every future is possible, but since we all have
You know, they
free-
say that's more accurate to what the universe is really like than it is what we think it is, or our perception, because our perception of what we're living and what we're doing right now is just, I think, from what I read and what I subscribe to, I guess I'm not no motherfucker. Don't fact check me, because you know what? Fact is, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about sometimes. I'm high. But the way we experience reality for us being that we're like in a basic interface. You know what I'm saying?
Did you see the preview for Upload?
I seen that. What's it called again?
It's called Upload.
Upload is on Hulu, right?
It's on, I think, Prime.
Prime. Gotta watch that.
Yeah, what wasn't that funny? It was.
That's crazy. It's like when
Right.
basically from what I got from it is it's like in the future you have an option if you're a good person and you didn't do a lot of bad on earth, you have an option to be able to upload your consciousness, right?
Yes.
And then
or possibly or you can like, so in the show it's he got hurt severely and he could either go to surgery and try to save his own life, you know, his actual real life, but there is a risk that he will pass away, or does he not want to take the risk and just upload
transition to the And I didn't get too much of it, but basically the online version is the same reality as right now, or what, or how?
I don't know. It's different. It's basically everything is simulated though. It's
So it's basically like paradise. He could basically have the life he wants.
He can change the dial to the weather. He can make food pop up.
He's
but
God,
it's funny,
basically, in his own world.
In his own world, and it's funny, but there's other people there as well. And then but it's funny because it also puts like a funny spin on it, to where like he wanted to get something to drink or eat, but he had to make like a app purchase before he could access the food, and
basically like right now.
There's funny, there's funny spins on it. It's interesting.
I haven't watched that.
It just reminded me of you because you're always like
the fucking third dimension, the realm, bro, where they hold Mortal Kombat and shit like that at. But yeah, it's I don't know. I think for the most part, whatever it is that we like I said, we could only experience the universe as we know it through this body. So it's very limited. It's no different in the grand scale of things. If you think about how big the universe is, and how I feel like, if you think about how big the universe is, I mean, on the scale of what we are, we're like probably we're all significant. But as far like we're like an ant, or even more, like microscopic to vastness and everything that we're out there. So, you know. I don't know. You know, I don't know exactly.
The flat Earth theory kind of completely contradicts that. I think part of it, I haven't done my complete research on the theory, but
don't get me started on that shit, because them motherfuckers is the worst of the worst Facebook people. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up.
But their theory is that we are actually divine beings. We are gods in a sense, but
that's my theory too.
They don't want us to know that, so to speak, because if we knew how much of our power we had, they wouldn't be able to be greedy and, you know, use the resources.
I feel like that fits my scenario too, though. But I could agree.
And then like the different worlds aren't on an actual sphere, but it's actually a flat plane, and it's different lands and parts of land outside of what we're used to. So they're considered different worlds. So I don't know. It's interesting. Like, again, I don't know. I've never been to space, to speak. I've never not been.
My whole thing
so
with
until like I can confirm, like I don't know. I
think, you know, for me it's just that I don't have an opinion on the flat Earth thing because
think about it. They thought the Earth was flat up until 1400s.
But that's because they couldn't get nowhere.
I don't know, honestly. But I mean, if you look at something unbiasedly, and you know, we've been here for I don't know how many umpteen thousands, millions of years, humans have actually habitated the Earth. If just until the last 600 years people thought the Earth was round, you'd be like, well, they're wrong, because look at how long they thought it was flat.
No, for
like
sure.
Time-wise, like, you know
that's
what
why
I mean.
I said I don't have.
And our ancestors weren't stupid.
No.
They knew how to navigate through the stars and the seasons.
No shit.
And migrate. And some of ancient cultures believed that the Earth was a flat sphere. Like, so
it's
a flat. Yeah,
it's the one where it's like,
I don't know.
I can't discredit it, but at the same time, I'm not gonna just dive all in and act like I know, because the simple fact of the matter is that. I mean, at any time, you know, people could actually put that to the test. You know what I'm saying?
To me,
Regular
it's like
people.
It honestly doesn't make a difference to me, because on a day-to-day basis, I just want to make sure that I practice good faith and good nature. So,
well,
I mean,
for the most of us, it's
an
what's in our
interesting
ecosystem.
Debating topic, and yeah, I think that scientists should. Like,
all I know is that if you're on Facebook and you're spamming me flat Earth shit, go fuck yourself. And go to
but when people start like trolling each other online about it, and like,
don't jump up in my comments with that stupid shit, bro. Look,
and start insulting each other because
like
you're
said,
like, you don't know, you're not woke.
I can't discredit them, but they can't prove
that.
nothing. No, this is the thing that is crazy. Okay, look, I'm not one for somebody to just take whatever has been handed to us and be like, this is law. Like, I'm always gonna question shit. So I'm definitely open to the idea.
That's
but it's like there should be something that could, there should be some things that could be tangible, that you could prove to discredit common. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like we live in what Ben said, we in the age of information and disinformation, and people are like you know, we've said it with the corny shit, like corny, like they try to cheapen the basic values of regular life, you know, the things that are the most important, by making it seem cheap and corny and whack. And they do that because the information's out there. So what's the best, if you know you can't get rid of the information and it's right there and it's out there, no matter what, people are gonna get it, all that you could do is just try to make it look crazy and discredit it the most you can by counter information. And like I said, there's so many truths out there that I couldn't begin to tell you what I know or what I don't know. But what I do know is that it's hard to sift through it all. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I grew up thinking the world is round. I think the world's round.
That's because that's what they told us. That doesn't mean it's true.
But I agree. That's what I'm saying.
I just need
like,
all I need is a flat earth motherfucker to explain it to me and be like, yo, show me some science.
Honestly, though, there's valid information kind of on both sides. So
that's what I'm saying. But at the same time, though, too, like a lot of ancient civilizations, just because they wrote shit doesn't mean they were right. Like, they didn't know everything, and even the Mayans and shit like that, they studied the stars and knew this and that, and they left behind a tablet saying that the world was gonna end in 2020 and 2012, and you know what I'm saying. And that's not what it is. Think about it like this. I know you got a story of some shit that had happened to you when you were young, and you tell it, and the more you tell it, and I guarantee you, if you had a video of when you first told that story back in the day or when it first happened compared to how you tell it now, there's a big fucking, you know what I'm saying? Not by much, but certain things are skewed. You feel what I'm saying? Yes. So it's like, we don't know exactly what the fuck they knew, or if they was even on that shit for reals. Like, how do you know it wasn't just some asshole like, yeah, I'm gonna write this shit and it's gonna, like, now people write all kinds of crazy books. Let's just say the whole world blew up and the next civilization comes and looks up and finds all our shit. They're gonna think a lot of this shit was law. And it could be the most bogus of the bogus shit. Like, they're gonna find a fucking Godzilla movie and be like, oh my God, this really happened to these motherfuckers. They was living some crazy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So it's all, I'm a skeptical motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie to you. So when it comes to that shit, I am too.
Like I said, I don't know nothing about nothing.
That Corona shit, I don't believe in that shit.
I don't know.
That shit was good. The okie doke, the rope dope.
But it really doesn't matter. All we need to do is just make sure that we good and we'll be good.
Well, I'm trying to manifest shit though. So my thing.
That's a part of it. My
thing is just like, in this whole situation, I it's not about panic. It's about locking in. You know. Lock in, handle your business, do what you gotta do. Don't get stressed out over what could happen, because there's a million possibilities out there. You're never gonna be able to live if you get stressed out like that. Like, all you gotta do, really, or all you can do, is just keep, you know, what's in front of you. Like, I was talking to Pep last week. It was the same philosophy. It's like, just live in the moment. You know, you gotta make plans, of course, but what I mean, like, by that, it's like, you can't make plans or not make plans because you fear something's gonna happen. Be like, okay, Friday I'm gonna do this, or at one point or another I'm gonna start this business and take it to this level, or whatever the case is. You could have plans like that, but I feel like when you start letting the possibilities of what bad could happen dictate the moves you make in the present, then that's when you're like locked. You know what I mean? So that's all we can do. Don't panic right now. Pay attention. You see how fast this shit's gone. They saying it ain't safe. It's safe. Whatever. I don't trust the news to begin with, so I don't give a fuck what they say. I'm going by what I know. Like I said, I don't know too many people that got it and passed away. And then the whole fact that they had, you know, false tests, and they went to test a bunch of other countries and they said they had it. Either somebody was trying to fake the number of people that had it, or somebody was trying to this or that, whatever the fuck the case is.
There's so much contradicting and conflicting information, and
just know I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But what else is good, Patty? What else has been what's been happening with you? You know, what's the new formula? You know what I mean? What Patty, you know what I'm saying, been locking into? Like, what you been working on since this whole quarantine shit happened?
I'm good. Just catching up on projects around the house and projects I had on the back burner, you know, because you feel like we get caught up in the regular day-to-day rat race kind of lifestyle. So Yeah, just trying to focus on the things that I actually can control and accept the things you can't control, and just kind of just like I said, like as long as you do good, I really believe like you'll be good, like, and being there for each other and things like that. So it's
I'll be there.
I always try to like, I don't know. I just had to take in all the information and everything that's going on and process it and
dig it. Yeah, I mean that's all
do
we
the best
do,
I
right?
can.
That's
you know,
all we can.
like,
It's the no invite. What can we do, right? I mean,
yeah, like you said, you can't really sit there and stress about it because
No, you
that's
just
not
gotta
gonna
keep
really
moving,
add to
keep
it.
making your plans and adapt.
And like, not to say like people like there's not like a certain healthy amount of stress, so that you know there's an urgency placed on
Stress is
situations, and because
Pressure keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, to an extent.
Yeah,
But not to
it's the
say,
right
like,
kind of
people who
pressure.
Because some people have anxiety and things like that too. And
But that's because they think about it more than that's actually happened. Like, I'm a person that has had anxiety before. You know what I mean? And I've even said on the podcast, it's like sometimes weed gives me anxiety, but to me it's like a rush sometimes though too.
Yeah.
Like, so
but everybody's different.
it makes me feel alive even
For
though
some
I'm dead
people it's
inside.
chronic, and I don't think they choose to have it be like that, and it's just.
You're right.
But like I said, like I just try I try to like be as healthy as I can mentally and
Stop thinking about the what ifs and start thinking about what now. Like, what can we do now? 'Cause I
focus
feel
on
like-
solutions.
Yeah, because it's like
again,
the what ifs is what to me has always caused anxiety for me. It's like when I start getting too
And it's
deep
natural,
into the what
it's
ifs.
human.
Yeah, everybody does, and weed
It's
sometimes
human.
will make you do that. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what kind you're smoking. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why there's strands.
Existing is exhausting.
Fuck, heard the fuck out of that. Any turn of events, Patty?
Turn of events.
Anything that the people need to know, because they've been
Nothing.
asking about you. They've been in the comments asking about you, like, where the fuck's Patty at? So, you know, Patty really turned down right now. We finna wake her ass up because she's super. Patty got her quiet storm voice on right now. Like, yes, you know, like, stop trying to act, stop putting on the front for the people. You know, goddamn well you don't talk like that. Well, yeah, you do, but still though, they want to hear the real Patty, the one that talks that shit.
I think you like that part of me more than anybody.
It's funny.
You encourage that.
I do. Cause it's a part of like when we don't have the fucking microphone on. I feel like when people do podcasts sometimes, or they do anything where they get put on the spot, they kind of have like their, you know, like they put their game face on. Like, we've always strived, and I told you that, is to like do a podcast where we can let our guard down and actually be how we are when the shit's off. Because when the shit's off, we talking shit, we blah blah blah, this, that, and another. You know, and it's hard to do that because we've always been the type of people to make sure that, you know, we reserved at the right time and you know whatever. You know what I mean? So it's funny. It's funny, like I said, because even the most rapping ass motherfucker, I done had them, you know what I mean, they done this and they whatever, you put them on the microphone and just to have a conversation with them, and you've had conversation with them off the mic, we're like, yeah, you'd be great.
Yeah.
You put them on the spot, it's a little different. So it's hard for people to actually show their real personality, I'm gonna say. You ain't gotta say everything about yourself, but your personality.
Yeah, I think it just depends also on how the person feels at that moment.
That's true too.
Like,
that's why I like to do podcasts if I'm fucking not in the mood, like, cause
really,
because it affects, especially like the thing is, like, I never set out to do this type of shit. You know? This is just something I fell into and I like it because I do stuff that I'm a fan of. It's like the type of music I make is the kind of music that I would listen to because I'm a fan of that music. And, you know, it's just, you know, just how I've always been. And the same thing with anything else. It's like, if I do it, it's because I'm a student of it and I understand it as much as I can, and that's what it is. But, you know, it was never my intention to do this shit. I never set out like I'm gonna be a podcaster, but it just fell into it. Like, when I did the ever live stream shit that I did, that shit was crazy because it's different, you know. It was like really being in the fire. We had a pretty large, consistent. I mean, by nowadays it's probably not large, but at the time it was large live viewing. And if something fucks up on live, you live with it. You can't do nothing. It's seen. It's unedited. It is what it is. So, you know, from getting it to this point, it's been a little chore. And the same thing with me. coming from where I'm from, we don't talk a lot like that. So like, it's hard for me to actually show my personality, and I feel like it takes time for me to be comfortable behind the mic to give people enough to know that I'm a real person and not I'm just not here talking whatever the fuck, even though sometimes I don't make sense.
Yeah, I just think though also like you don't have to always feel like you have to pretend to feel a way if you're not to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
To kind of pacify other people, like, you know what I mean? Like, as humans, part of being it is having emotions, and you know, and I don't think we're one or two dimensional characters. Like, sometimes I'm gonna be upset, sometimes I'm gonna be more, you know, have more energy, other times I'm gonna be more laid back, like,
sure.
You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like you don't have to deny any facet of yourself. Like, this is who I am, and this is how I feel at this moment too, and you can express that. And that's why you see some celebrities, they go crazy because they always have to put on a certain sort of facade, or
well, just
it's
imagine
the same way as
just imagine as only being known for one thing though. That's what I'm saying. You know, it's like just imagine that.
I think it's healthy to be able to express yourself and know whatever you're feeling, as long as it's healthy. Like, and then because some people are like what's wrong, and it's like nothing's wrong, I'm good. Like,
yeah,
you know what crazy. I mean? Like, so, like, I don't know. I think that kind of plays into that. Like, we feel like we have to act a certain way at all times.
Fuck that.
And
if you know me, you know I'm like this. And you're right though. I feel like every place has its time, and you know you can't always.
Depends on what you're going for too, and whatever project you're putting forth.
Not even project, just real life. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can't be. You know, you can't. I'm the type of person that I don't like to let everybody into to how I really am. Mm-hmm. So like, it's not that I'm putting on a front. I'm just more reserved around certain people, and it's because
that's human.
And then like if I'm comfortable with you and we've been down and we've been rocking, then you already know I'm gonna be myself, and you know that's why it's been so hard for me. Some people could get on the mic right now and never did it before and be natural about it. It's because they really didn't. Grow up how we did, you know what I'm saying? Where it was like,
or just some people, like, I think you have a really good niche for this. Like, I think you have like that factor to host and things of that nature. So I'm a cult leader, remember? I get the people worked up. You know what I'm saying? After a while, everybody do what I say. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing. And those who aren't cult leaders,
come to me, my children.
We could be comfortable as well if we want to be more, you know, reserved at times and things of that nature. But it's also, you know, it's funny because I was listening to that song today, CeeLo, Robin Williams by CeeLo.
Never heard it.
It's a really good song. It's about comedians and everything like that. And he's like, life reminds me of Robin Williams. And Robin Williams always did feel like he had to be the funny guy, and he couldn't. When he tried to be serious, people wouldn't take him that way or didn't accept him. They're like, "Oh, where's the funny guy?" You know what I mean? Like that is unhealthy. You know, I think it starts to contribute to your health in general. And
that's what I'm saying. I mean, like that's what I was saying. We're just talking about that, right? And
so like, and it also could not. It doesn't have to just apply to people who have fame or who are in the spotlight, but. Just we're all humans, like we're all the same, like so. And
there's different levels to it, because think about it like this: is like, not Chris Rock, but who played Smokey? I forgot what his name again.
Oh, Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker, right? He played Smokey, right? And he said that he couldn't get away from that character for hella long, because no matter what fucking acting role he did, people always be like, Smokey. Every time you see him, he was like, bro, I don't even really smoke weed in real life. He's like,
yes.
But you know, and a lot of people that got like real iconic roles like that, it's the same thing. And I feel you on that. It's like, imagine that's like, but there's different levels. So imagine you're like the kid that shit his pants in fucking 8th grade. It's like, and that's all you're known for. It's like,
just go?
I'm just saying, like, we're talking about different levels.
Sharp left.
It's like, it was.
I don't recognize this
took
neighborhood.
A real soft brown, like. Nah, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, imagine that though. It's tough, man. It's like, bro, I'm more than just this, or you're the kid that got arrested at school.
So this is me, Diz.
Yeah, this is fucking Patty's fucking
at all facets.
Well, look, it's the No Invite podcast. We're not gonna talk y'all ear off too much. Matter of fact, because everybody got shit to do, and if you don't got nothing to do, then you need to go find something to do with your life. Life is all about opportunity, possibilities. Nah, I'm not judging. I'm just saying that's what you need to do, but that don't mean what you have to do. What you have to do is whatever's best for yourself. Me, I offer a little motivation, and sometimes I might put a foot in your ass to do it, but that's just how it is. You know what I mean? I feel like we done got so soft sometimes that people take everything personal. It's like sometimes if I say some slick shit to you, it ain't personal. It's just like it's good old fashioned fucking advice. Back in the day, an old person used to be like, "Stop acting like a pussy" or something. And just be like, "Oh, he's just an old man."
Just some tough love.
Yeah, some tough love. Exactly. Like, what happened to the fucking tough love? You know what I mean? I take a little tough love with my motherfucking coffee every morning. It's good. As long as it's, you know what I mean? But
like, remember when I was telling you, like, I was watching the Bernie Mac show the other day. I was like, I relate to him so much on so many levels.
Now that you look back, he was right on a lot of shit.
Even when they first came out, those episodes, I was like, I totally relate.
Him and fucking Everybody Hates Chris's dad.
Yes,
relate to both them motherfuckers. Terry Crews, yeah. But I mean, that's the difference. Like, people had Cosby's in the 80s. That's who they looked up to. It's like we looked up to shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's different. It comes with the times and shit.
A lot of realness.
You know what? We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We're not going to talk their ear off. Make sure that you guys follow us on Instagram at no_invite_podcast. Follow us, stalk us, whatever. It's fucking slander our name. We don't give a fuck. Go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, RiBirth Entertainment. RiBirth Films with a Z. And RiBirth with an RiBirth Media Films with a fucking Z at the end. Like, subscribe, comment, talk that shit. Because, you know, if you're bored and you don't have nothing to do, just guarantee that we'll get in them comments and slander the fuck out of you too. So episode 31 is in the bag. We're gonna keep it rolling. We just came off of vacay. Patty, any shout outs, anything you want to say, any vibes you want to send out there to the people, to the world? Craig?
Everybody just, do the best you can. It'll be okay. Just be there for
fight
each
the
other.
good fight. Do the best you can. Don't let put one foot in front of the other. Remember, they say the corny shit.
And don't listen to Diz.
Nah, but remember, they said the shit that sounds corny really be the shit that's really real. Everything I said, that was some real ass shit right there. So, anyways, this motherfucking episode 31, Blaze, No Invite Podcast. Your favorite podcast that you didn't know about it. The podcast that stalks you. Instead of you subscribing to the podcast, we subscribe to you. We're trying to find out where you're at. Where are you? What are you doing? Put that down.
I don't know this guy.
Yeah, all of a sudden we don't know me and shit. Nobody knows me. I don't know me. It's No Invite Podcast. We out.
Podcast on Instagram. No_invite_podcast.